Welcome in to Between Two Meeples. I'm Armando Castaneda, and this is...
I'm Isaac Meyer.
Today, we are going to be talking about trying to fit or spend $200 for either the holidays or to buy somebody a brand new board game collection. We're going to try to start a board game collection with $200 on Amazon.
Yep.
Was it challenging?
Yeah, it was a fun little exercise because prices kept changing on me when I was halfway done, and then I had to rework stuff.
That happened to me at least twice. So all of the games you're going to see here, we took pictures of it at the price that we found it at. So, don't kill the messenger after the video comes out and the games aren't the same price, because Amazon changes their prices constantly. But let's get started. My first game on the docket, because I love card games, and I love a little bit more complexity when it comes to my card games, and that is Arboretum.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played Arboretum?
Nope.
No.
I want to.
So Arboretum, the cards itself are a very beautiful artwork on it. I think there's 9 different trees that are in the game, and the whole point of it is it's a puzzle game where you're drafting cards into your hand, and you're trying to make the nicest arboretum, I guess is what it is. And you have to line up your cards to like a 1 all the way through an 8. The longer the run, the more victory points you are. But the kicker is that you need to be able to keep cards in your hand as well. Because if you don't have a higher value than, like, let's say me and you were playing together, if you had, for some reason, the 5 was still in your hand, and I only had the 3, you would cancel all of my points even though I had a massive run inside of my hand.
Oh, man.
So you have to strategically think, like, should I play my 7 just to get more points on the run, or should I keep the higher number just in case you are hoarding onto it in your hand?
Seems like a similar like push and pull to like Lost Cities a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Arboretum, it comes in right now. It's sitting on Amazon. I believe it's at $19 is where we're at. $19.95. So that's my first game. My next game, since I really love card games, we're going to stick with that theme. And we're going to go Scout.
A game I've played.
Yes. I really enjoy Scout. Scout plays, it's 2 to 5 players. And I think it does play really good at 2 still.
Mm-hmm.
And it is one of the ones that I do feel that plays really good at all player counts. Like, I don't think it's hindered from like the 2 or the 5. And
I prefer not playing with the 2-player rules, but 2 players still works well. But I do prefer the not having to worry about the extra little rules that are added in 2-player. But
I think one of the main reasons why I really enjoy Scout, once again, it is a smaller boxed game, but the rule set on it is very light. Like, it's not a hard game to take. You can take it to a bar, you can take it wherever with you, and you can teach somebody how to play the game, I feel like, in 5 minutes. It's not really hard to teach the game at all.
No, not at all.
And then you can even do a mock round and show everyone like how it's going to play out, and like everyone's going to get it after the first turn.
Yeah.
So Scout, super easy, super fun. Like, the
only thing that's hard to teach is like, do not move your cards because I'm gonna have to redeal everything.
Yeah.
But because it's so natural to get your hand and then start organizing it.
Yep.
And
you get one chance. You have to flip it once or flip it.
That's it.
And you're done.
So
that was hard to grasp for a few people.
Yeah.
But once you get that part, like, that's literally the hardest part of the game. And then you just try to make runs, or you try to get sets of, like a set of 3. And it falls along the same lines as like your poker rules, where, this set beats this one, this run has to be bigger than that one, so on and so forth. So it's relatively easy to teach.
Yeah. I love Scout.
Yeah. So do I.
Played it a lot.
Next up for me is one game that you taught me the other day that, once again, I had always wanted to play. I'd had 3 chances. It's been on my table multiple times in board game conventions and stuff like that. And for some reason, I'm really good at not playing it.
Apparently.
But I played it, and that is Kingdomino. So I found it this morning when I redid my whole entire list. It came in at $15.75. That was one of the games that instantly shot up after about an hour of me doing this. But you can find it as low as $15. And Kingdomino is a nice tile lane puzzle game where you're trying to basically build the biggest type of terrain, I guess would be the right word.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called.
I feel like terrain would be the right word. But it has to be a 5x5 square is essentially what you're restricted to, and you're drafting tiles and you're placing them, and there's multipliers on the cards for victory points, which, so I love a really good puzzle game. The wife loves really good puzzle games, and that one is nice, light, easy to take, and like I think you taught me the rules in 5 minutes as well.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite games is up next, and that is Cascadia. You don't like it for some reason still.
I still like it, but you talk about it all the time.
I really enjoy the game. But so hear me out. There is some people out there that do love to play by themselves. Solo is still a big thing out there. And out of my whole entire list that I have here, Cascadia is the only one that can play solo. So if you're going to try dabbling into solo at all, like I really love the solo play in Cascadia. The achievements that you can go out and get, I think there's 21 achievements in the back of the rule book that you can go set out to do. It's basically beat your own score with variations of how to play it. So like, I don't have any other solo games in here, and if I was going to start solo or I wanted a solo one, like I feel like that would be my gateway game into solo gaming, would be that one to choose from. So that's why it made it onto my list to start in a collection. Not only the fact that like I do really enjoy the game, you know, at 2, 3, and 4 player counts, but that solo game is why I made it onto my list for I think the third video.
Okay.
Because I truly do love the solo, and I wanted to have some sort of solo game on my list to start a collection.
The game that I had on my list had solo, and
you took it off.
I took it off.
So that is one of the main reasons why Cascadia made it on there, because that is my favorite solo game. So Akropolis is one of the first games that I've played that allows you to build up with your tile lane. And the higher you build up, you can build up to three levels. You have now multipliers by how high you are building up. So if you can get up to the second level, I think it's like 2 times whatever your thing is valued. If you get up to the third level, it's 3 times whatever your actual like plot is. So it's like the same. You're actually building cities. So it's like Acropolis. So you have like like shopping districts, residential districts, parks. You have like war areas. So like they're red. I think like the what do they call it? Where like the barracks.
Okay.
Yeah, where all the military guys sit. So you have barracks that you're trying to build up and stuff like that. So there's 4 or 5 different city types, and then you're trying to basically make, just like in Cascadia, the biggest section of that type of city times however high you were able to get this thing up. Plus stars, like there's a few other things that like make the game great, but that is one of the first tile lane games where like you can build up. Like the rules were very easy to teach. Like it's not that difficult. You get like this nice little player card that says, this is how many of these tiles are in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your odds of getting this. So if you can look at other, like, oh, that guy has one, that guy has one. I only have like 1 chance to get this one. So like, you have to go and spend money to go get this tile out of the market, or you're not going to be able to get a multiplier.
Mm-hmm.
So like it does a really good job of walking you through the game. And this is one of the games that plays really good at 2, 3, and 4. And I really enjoyed Akropolis. So you're going to have to check that one out. My next game that I really love, and my wife really loves it, in my mind, this is the game that killed Wingspan for me, and it killed Everdell for me. I think ever since I've started playing this game, I have not even cared about going and playing Everdell or Wingspan again. So the game that I am talking about is Earth. So you've played Earth. We played it at PAX. I think you actually beat me.
Yeah, I smoked you.
I don't know if you smoked me.
No, it was a lot.
Yeah?
It was a lot. I remember.
So I love Earth. I've played this thing. We played it, I think, every month since I played it at BGG Spring when we went and bought it. Like, this is one of the games out of Spring that I'm like, I loved this game so much that was the only game that I actually bought coming out of BGG Spring. And It's a tableau building game where you are going to be drafting cards, whether it be open drafting or closed drafting, because you can draft out of the pile.
Mm-hmm.
And you're basically just managing this big mound of cards that you end up getting. You can throw them into your compost, but at some point you have to start laying down trees into your little like tableau. And then all of those trees are going to give you some sort of benefit. And one of the main reasons why I love this game so much is because the simultaneous play. So I like the fact that when I make a decision, like you still get the ability to trigger your whole entire tableau, and we're not all sitting around, because one of the things that I hate during like heavier games is the downtime between, okay, I took my turn. And in heavier games, like I feel like I take my turn relatively quickly. So like I might give me 2 minutes, I'm done. And then I hate waiting for 20 minutes to have my turn to come back to me. Like that is the one thing that comes to heavy games. So when I was able to find a little heavier game in Earth and it had simultaneous play and you're constantly doing stuff, like the whole entire time I feel focused, I feel engaged, like I don't get withdrawn and I'm not pulling out my phone trying to text everything because of the simultaneous play. Mm-hmm. And I felt like in Wingspan, like it was really bad. You're just like, oh my God.
Wingspan has so much downtime.
I know. You're just
like if you're playing with 5,
I don't even consider.
It says 2 to 5 in a box. I don't even, if I have 5 players, I don't even consider pulling.
I won't even consider it after 3. Like I feel like 3 is the max. I've tried it at 4. I've tried it at 5, and like
4 is fine if people know what they're doing.
It's brutal. I hate downtime.
Just get eggs.
Yeah, just get eggs. And that's another thing I hate about Wingspan too. Is like the whole 4th round is like just get eggs. Just get eggs. Just get eggs. You know you're getting eggs. Stop. So what are you doing? Just get eggs. All right. Next up on my list, because Splendor Duel was too expensive, I went with the cheaper option of Splendor. Because I feel like Splendor is still good. Splendor is still easy. I feel because of the restriction of the 2-player for Splendor Duel, I felt like if you're trying to start a board game collection, you kind of want to have the ability to play at a higher player count more often.
Yeah, for sure.
So I felt like Splendor would probably be the better option. And it's cheaper. Right now it's sitting at $22 on Amazon, where I think Splendor Duel is sitting at like $30. So I'm like, why would you not take the cheaper of the 2 options? And I love the big heavy metal chips. I love the, it plays good at 2. It plays good all the way up to 4. Mm-hmm. Like there is no really bad player count when it comes to Splendor. So I really enjoyed it. I believe you do too.
I like Splendor. Does it have a solo mode?
I don't believe it does. Who are you trying to beat, yourself?
No, but it seems like they could implement one somehow.
I don't know. All right, so the last game on my list, because I haven't had a party game here yet, and the reason why this one made it on there is solely because of the price. For $12.39, you cannot beat Codenames as a starter party game. So Codenames plays good from 4 all the way up to 8 to 10 players. Like I don't think that it gets much more complicated.
Yeah. Much
more complicated, because then you got too many. I feel like you got too many cooks in the kitchen at that point.
I top it at 8 when I pull it off the shelf.
But Codenames is great. If you don't know anything about Codenames, it's essentially they have a whole bunch of cards in there that have words on them, and you pull out 25 words, and then there's one guy who is in charge of trying to give clues to his teammates. And you have to try to link as many of the words that are your secret agents so that your team can guess where your secret agents are. And you would be surprised how difficult it is to try to link like 8 words together, or try to figure out how to even link 2 or 3 of the words with one clue, so that your guys don't like choose. You don't want them to choose the other team, and you also don't want them to choose the assassin, which could immediately end the game.
Yeah.
So it's always one of those things where you're like, oh man, how am I going to give a clue?
And then you're listening to them talking about it. And they keep bringing up the assassin word. And you're like, how did you even get this word from my clue? It has nothing to do with this.
I know.
And then, yeah.
Look, I literally I thought about this. I know this clue should not even be anywhere associated with that. But somehow, some way, assassin always get brought up.
Yeah. Or
you can be like my sons and they just like YOLO it sometimes. They're like, I'm like, this word too. They're like, okay, you got the 2. They're like, I'm just going to pick another one. You're just like, ah. But that is my list. Comes in at $197.50, I think, for 8 games. Because you were struggling, I did give you my $2.50 that I saved.
No, but I didn't need it.
Did you not need it?
I didn't need it. I made do without. Had I taken your $2, I would have been able to keep my list how it was. But I changed it up. So I'll start with my first game coming in at $12.39.
No, that's funny.
Codenames. And I feel like I don't really need to say much about it. We just talked about it, so I'll just.
I think it's really so. It is a really good game, the base one. If you did want to play it at 2, let's just talk about it for 1 second. The Codenames Duel, I really
don't like it.
You didn't like it?
My wife hated it.
Really?
Yeah, because I get upset when people make bad decisions and suboptimal
and she makes
plays
bad decisions constantly.
Yeah, it didn't work for us.
Oh,
but I know people that like it. But I also know there's people in the same boat as us where it didn't work at all. So I think that's to each their own. You gotta kind of try it out for yourself.
Yeah, I think you really do. Me and my wife really enjoyed it because it's you two versus, and you're trying to find everything without trying to find the assassin. It's like a dual layered card, and you're trying to do the best you can with the information you have.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and then coming in at $9.84, Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza.
No.
It's stupid.
It is very stupid.
It's simple, but it's a lot of fun.
You can also break a finger.
You can play, I don't even know how many players. You could probably play up to 10 if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
You just deal out these cards. You flip one. You say taco, cat, goat, cheese. And if the picture ever matches what you're saying, everyone's got to smack it. And then last person to smack takes all the cards. And it's the first person run out of cards. That's pretty much the whole game. There's like some cards in there that make you do crazy, weird stuff before you smack.
I normally don't play with the stupid, weird stuff.
I love those. Those are the best part.
I don't know.
The only one is the narwhal, whatever it is.
Narwhal.
People go like this, and then they're coming from up here to smack. And if anyone's wearing a ring, oh man, I've gotten injuries from that game, but it's a lot of stupid fun. Yeah. So it's dirt cheap.
And it's like the size of a deck of cards. So we take it
anywhere.
We take it camping all the time. That's one of our camping games.
Yeah, I have 2 copies. I have one that got spilt liquid all over it, and that's the one that we're gonna play if people are drinking.
There you go.
Because then I don't care, and then I've got a nicer one that I'll take to like board game conventions and stuff. Okay.
All right, I like it.
The next one is comes in at $16.61. This is Just One. Have you ever played Just One?
I have played Just One.
Okay.
I was. It's a good party game. I don't necessarily think it was my favorite of the party games.
I think Just One is really good. It is really simple. You take a card, you put it in front of you facing out, so you can't see it. Then you pick a number 1 through 5, and everyone else sees what the word you picked, and they all have to write a 1-word clue to get you to guess that word. But if any 2 players write the same word, they have to erase it. Yep. And so everyone is thinking like, okay, I want to how do I tell him without telling him the same word that they're going to tell him? And then people end up just putting words that make no sense at all because no one wanted to say for the word cactus, they didn't want to say green. So
then no one
says green out there. You have no idea. You may I think I've played to where we were playing with a full 7 players. One person's guessing, and I only got to see one thing because so many people were writing the same things. So you're trying to guess a boat, and the only word that I have is water.
Oh. I think one of the so I played this game around the exact same time that I played So Clover.
I like So Clover a little better, but it was $10 more expensive.
That's true. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I shied away from Just One, because I played So Clover at the same it was almost the same night, I feel like. And I played Just One earlier in the game as like a night opener, and then it got late, and then we're like, oh, someone wants to play So Clover. I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, oh, this game I just felt was done way better. So I think I
think Just One, there's more simplistic
very simple
take, and it's very easy. Like So Clover, I've seen some people struggle with it because it is really thinky trying to connect these two words sometimes.
But that's where I'm at. Like, I like the thinky, and I think that's why I tend to lean more towards
I prefer So Clover, but
just one.
I know a lot of other people like that I play games with prefer just one to So Clover because of the simplicity.
It is.
So that's why, and it was cheaper, so I put it on here.
Yeah, like if you have a family, just one is super easy to pull out because it's just like write down a word. The teach is like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's so simple.
Yeah,
not even 2 minutes, 60 seconds probably.
Hand everybody right on this.
Okay, so here's my dexterity game because I feel like everybody's got to have something that you can. Except this one, you can't really get better at it.
You didn't what Flick of Faith? Did you find it on there?
No, I didn't put Flick. I wish. It's $31.25 currently, and it is called Drop It.
Drop It.
Yeah.
I don't think
I've ever played Drop It.
Is that
I thought you owned it?
No, I don't own Drop It. Is it one of those ones where like you physically have to drop something, hope it lands on something else?
Yeah. So it has this tower, this see-through tower.
Okay.
That has a slot in it that's just the thickness of your wooden pieces. And you have to drop in a piece, and then based on how high the piece is, you're going to get points. But if your piece is touching another one of your own pieces, because all of yours are the same color, it scores 0 points. And if my piece touches another piece of the same shape, I score 0 points. So you're trying to drop things into so that they don't touch things you don't want them to touch. And I've seen exciting moments. There's also these little bonuses that are like written into the see-through thing, and if your piece is inside that at all, you can get like a bonus 2 or 3 points.
That sounds like something that like my sons would enjoy. Like you can get teens to play something dumb.
It's a blast. We just played it maybe a week or two ago.
You have it?
Yeah, this guy asked me, we were having a Halloween party, and he goes, "Hey, what's a game that you can pull off the shelf we can play, and then I can get back to the party?" I was like, "I got you. We play Drop It." And taught the game, played it in like 10 minutes.
Oh.
So, and it's a lot of fun. It's one where you dump it out, and I like to play at least a few times.
I'm just starting to get into dexterity. You keep swearing by it. I
haven't
had much of it, so
there was part of me that almost just put a $200 crokinole board.
Yeah, that's cheating.
Because crokinole is that good.
So crokinole is good. I don't know if I could stomach the $200 price tag of one board.
Well, you don't want to know how much my board costs.
My wife probably doesn't want to know either.
All right, so next one, coming in at $16.99. I've seen this even cheaper than this, but this is Marvel United.
Oh, it's up to $16?
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, just real quick. I got this game. Wow, what was it? Amazon? What is it? Amazon Prime Day
or whatever.
Yep, $6.99.
Wow. Yeah. So if that would have been $6.99, I could have put the game I wanted in here. But
it does get a lot cheaper, so you can.
This is actually one of the most expensive I've seen it. It's still cheap though for what it is.
Yeah.
$17 is still cheap for what comes in this box.
It's a lot.
It's a co-op game. It's super easy to teach. It has this cool system where I take my action, and then the next person is going to get their action plus my action. And so you're constantly working together to like ask people, what do you need on your turn? Because, my card is important for my turn, but it's also going to be important for your turn. So there's always collaboration.
Because you need to be able to complete 3 set of objectives, which is
you
kill all the bad guys,
beat the thugs, rescue the civilians, and then defeat the threats, which are either stronger minions or just like events that you're clearing out,
or things that can hurt you.
And then as soon as you do 2 of those things, you can start wailing on the bad guy.
Yeah, but
the bad guy's got something going on that's usually pretty brutal.
Tara thought we were playing the game wrong because we played 4 of these things and we only won 1. We were getting our ass whooped.
Well, I don't know.
We started with the X-Men one, which seemed a little bit more difficult.
X-Men it does have a little bit more
the villains
complexity.
Villains were a little harder.
X-Men is better in my opinion, but it doesn't go on sale as much. And if you're just starting out, I'd start with the United.
I would agree with that because we were at least able to learn and get better at the game with United before we actually hopped back into X-Men.
Yeah.
To try to play it again.
Okay, so my next one comes in at $24.95. And this is a game that I really wish I could have found on sale because it kind of seems expensive for what it is. But it is a really good game, and that's One Night Ultimate Werewolf.
Oh, surprise. I was looking for that game as well, and I was shocked by how expensive it was.
Yeah.
I could not... So I love One Night Ultimate Werewolf as well, but I'm like $25.
I was like, it's taken up a big chunk of my 200.
Yeah.
But I do think... I looked at some games I looked at Avalon and Quest. They're a little bit cheaper, but I just don't think
they're as good.
They're as good. I like playing Avalon maybe better, but it doesn't have the app that helps you. You have to have somebody that is physically saying the stuff, which I don't mind doing, but I know a lot of people won't like that.
That's one of the main reasons why I love One Night Ultimate Werewolf. The app is
so
awesome.
Good. It's so good.
It's easy to use. It says pick what characters are in play. You just pick the characters, and then you hit the start button, and it tells everyone what to do. Like, you don't need to do anything. The app tells you exactly.
And as opposed to Avalon and stuff, this has it's 8 minutes. And you know that going in because it's going to be 5 minutes of talking after 2 to 3 minutes of the night phase. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Then you can play again.
Same with this one, isn't it?
No, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about Avalon. This one. Avalon there's no time limit.
Got it.
It's really good, but it's more like a 45-minute game.
Yeah.
Whereas this you can play
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Easy.
Play a few games in 45 minutes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
One Night Ultimate Werewolf. It's an awesome party
really
game.
recommend it.
Plays a lot of people.
Yes. I think in the box you can play up to 12.
That sounds maybe right. I think it's 10, but
who knows?
We'll find out. Okay, next one, $14.99. Another game that I've seen on sale, but couldn't find it this time, is The Crew. Oh, I love The Crew. Mission Deep Sea.
I had to take it off.
I was surprised this wasn't on yours.
It was on there. It was on there for the longest time, and I ended up having to pull it off because I couldn't get it to fit.
So, yeah, The Crew, it's a trick-taking game like Hearts or Spades, but everyone's on a team.
Yeah.
And I specifically like the second one. To me, it's easier to set up and play because you just deal out these mission cards and that says what that person needs to do. And you deal out a number of them based on how hard you want the game to be. Whereas in the first one, you are going through these missions, which is fun.
It's a campaign. It's a 50 sheet campaign.
But I think just for being able to pull it off the shelf, you already know, you don't have to look at which one you want to do. You just shuffle those out based on how hard you want the game to be, and then we just play.
Yeah. I think if you want a campaign series, you want to feel like you're progressing through something. I think that's one of the things that, what is it, Deep Space? Is that what, or...
Planet 9?
Planet 9.
Quest for Planet 9.
That one does a really good job of just structuring the whole game if you want a more of a campaign feel. Deep Sea makes it so that it's a little bit more random. You have more choice of how the game feels and plays out. But they both play very similarly, and they are both great games. I really wanted it because I love trick-taking, and I just couldn't.
I was really surprised.
I just couldn't get it
to make your list.
It was one of those things where, do I really want... I wanted somebody, if they're going to start a collection, I feel like Earth was a heavy one to get in there.
You had Kingdomino and Cascadia, and I can't believe you didn't trade Kingdomino for...
My wife talked me out of swapping out the trick-taking because... So... The reason why she said it is because if you're going to start a collection, you don't necessarily want games that play 3 and above.
Yeah. So it depends.
And I was like, you know what, fair.
You guys always play 2. I almost never play with only 2 players.
So I'm like, okay, I can see why I would want to swap out Kingdomino because that's essentially what I did is I swapped The Crew out for Kingdomino because she talked me out of. You want to have something that plays at more player count versus the 3 to 5 only. Even though
it is a strict player count, but
Because
it's worth it.
Because the 2-player count is doable. Like, it does come with 2-player rules, but it's not as fun as if you have the full 3 to 5. It does play better at higher player counts.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why it made it in. There was a reason.
I've got 3 more here.
Okay.
So, $16.99, Point Salad.
Oh, I really enjoyed Point Salad.
Point Salad's a lot of fun.
We just played Point City. And I still think Point Salad was better for me.
Yeah. I think they're both in the same space, but I think in that space of a light game that's just cards, Point Salad is better.
Yeah.
Point City is fun, and like if somebody wanted to play it, I would definitely hop in.
Yeah.
But it's not really. I don't feel like I really need to own both because Point Salad is easier to teach, easier to set up.
Yes.
And quicker to play. And
all 3 of those reasons I second. Because when we got done playing Point City, I was like, I don't know if I would go and spend money to have both of these in my collection. Nor do I think the game is better for me to lose Point Salad and bring in Point City.
Yeah. And so all it is it's a game where there's these vegetables, and every single card in the game, the back of it is a scoring condition. And you're either taking 1 scoring condition or 2 vegetables. And that's it. And then at the end, you're going to score all of your scoring conditions based on the vegetables you have. And then whoever has the most points wins.
That is a great explanation.
That's the whole game.
Yep.
And I just taught you how to play. That's part of the reason why I love Point Salad.
That is how easy Point Salad is.
Yeah. But just because it's easy doesn't mean that the decisions aren't important.
A very strategic game.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to win, because you're trying to look at what they have over there, and you want to stop them from getting more things because you don't want to get crushed. Because sometimes they'll steal what you need. Like, you're waiting for the 1 card to come out because you have all these vegetables, and they'll take it, and it's heartbreaking sometimes.
Yeah. And there's this mean thing you can do where if you take these vegetables, these cards have to fill it.
Yes.
And so if there's a scoring condition that you know somebody wants, you just take a vegetable from underneath it and it flips, and
yes,
now it's just a vegetable.
It's fun. Very fun.
It's lighthearted meanness, which I like. So yeah, Point Salad.
Definitely recommend.
All right. Coming in at $16 exactly. This one I had for like 15 something, but the price bumped and then I found it from a different seller. This is Kingdomino.
Oh, see, you're giving me a hard time.
I wasn't giving you a hard. I'm just surprised that you had it instead of, because I know how much you love the crew.
Well, like I said, it was the wife convinced me, because she really you showed us that and she was like, I want that game.
Kingdomino is great. We've already kind of talked about it. I don't really need to say much except for, it is really cool at 2 players. The 7x7 grid feels epic after you've played the regular with the 5x5. There's a lot of scoring that can happen in a 7x7, and it's just another game with really easy to teach. And
there's not a lot of games that like me and the wife will play that she goes, I want that game. And Kingdomino is one of the few games that I can think of off the top of my head where after we were done playing it, she's like, add that to the list. I want the Kingdomino in the house.
Yeah, so other thing about the games that I've picked here, I'd have to go home and test this, but so this shelf right here is called a Calyx. They're from IKEA. Most board gamers have them. It's just a thing. I think you could probably fit every game that I have on this in one of these cubes.
Oh, I think mine was the same.
Yeah.
Mine were pretty small.
So, but that doesn't mean that they're not good just because they come in small boxes.
That's one of the things that I focus on, is making sure that the game had replayability. And I think you've done a good job of making sure that everything that you've had, it wasn't like, a cheap game that you were going to get tired of in like 5 plays.
Yeah. So my last game here is the most expensive one on my list, and I had to knock some things off.
And this is your last one?
Yeah, this is my last one. I had to knock some things off. I wanted a 2-player only game.
What did you knock off?
So I knocked off Cartographers for $20.99. This is a great game, and that was the game that I said has a good solo. Cartographers is a lot of fun, the solo mode.
I've never actually played that one solo.
You're just playing a normal game.
Yeah.
Except for like when the bad things happen, it tells you a specific spot you have to put it in, and then you have to score a certain number of points.
Okay.
To win. That's it.
So Cartographers is my travel game. I like traveling a lot.
I don't really travel with mine anymore because I've got the huge box.
Oh, I still have the little one.
With the playmat and everything. And then the other game I knocked off for $11.99, which is such a good deal for how many plays you can get out of this, is Star Realms. Star Realms is an amazing 2-player deck builder game. I prefer Hero Realms, but Hero Realms doesn't have like a cheap version that Star Realms has. The cheapest you're going to get Hero Realms for is like around $25.
I have yet
and
to
they're
play
the exact
Star Realms.
same game, just Hero Realms is fantasy themed. So if you're going to be spending $12, this is a good place to spend it. Yeah.
Especially, that's your only deck builder in the whole entire lot. So if you want to start with deck building, that's a good place to start.
Yeah. So, but moving on to the game that actually made my list here for $37.30 is Marvel Dice Throne.
Oh.
The 4-hero set.
I didn't even think about that.
Because I wanted a game that plays 2 players well. And Dice Throne is just a blast.
Dice Throne is a blast.
And it is not crazy expensive to have a game that feels really deluxe. Like, you get to take your character out, and it's got the board that folds out, everything's linen finished, the dice are marbled, like, everything in that game is top-notch quality.
Even in the retail version.
Yeah.
Like, it's still really, really good.
So, like, it's just a great, and it's a lot of fun, and it's Marvel.
Yeah.
Which, most people will resonate with, and yeah, I wish when I got into Dice Throne, I could have got 4 characters for $37.
Needless to say, I loved Marvel Dice Throne so much that the new Kickstarter just came out for, I think it's the X-Men, right?
Yeah, X-Men.
I have all the retail version of this one. I ended up buying the big box so that I can swap out all my retail ones so that I can have 2 chests of both Marvel and the X-Men. Well, that is our video for today.
Mm-hmm.
We got through, I think that was about, you had 10, I had 8, so that's 18 games with a little bit of crossover for you for the holidays that are coming up, because we know that trying to buy new board games for gamers that you're trying to bring into the genre is pretty difficult to try to, where to start at. And so we hope this helps.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we did want to plug that you do have a game coming out that is great for this whole entire genre of startups, and that is Expressions.
It's true. Yeah. This is Expressions. This is it's in the same boat as kind of like a Hanabi, and then this is one of the final prototypes here. But you've got 1 through 10 and 5 suits. And you're pretty much playing a game of Team Go Fish, but with a lot more thinking and a lot more...
teamwork is needed, and you need to have a little bit more
you've
foresight and why somebody's doing some things in order to be successful at the game.
Yeah.
Because you can lose quickly with a few wrong guesses, and you've lost the game.
Yeah, there's definitely... what you have to do to win, and what you can do to fail.
But this game is coming out. No, you won't be able to get it anytime for Christmas, but we are shooting for 1Q, 2Q?
Q1.
1Q to have the game available for you.
Yeah, so we're shooting for February. You can reserve a copy right now on our website. Make sure that we print enough. But yeah, it should be launching and not launching. It's not Kickstarter. It's coming straight to retail. It'll be on Amazon. We'll be selling copies at Dice Tower West. We'll have a booth there. And
if you want to see it, we will be at
PAX Unplugged.
Yes.
I'll have a few copies, and you want to come play with me and Armando, you see us there, I will have a little backpack on with at least 1 copy of this, if not 3 copies in the backpack, and you see me, I will sit down and teach you how to play this game, no questions asked.
I will also have my copy in my backpack. Yeah. So we should have at least 4 there.
Yeah.
All right. So that is our completeness. Now you got something to look forward to for 1Q. You know what to look forward to for the Christmas and the holidays if you're trying to find somebody. Mm-hmm. And if you want to see more videos like this, please join us here. We've been making almost a video every week, I think, for you guys. And please do us a favor, like and subscribe, and we are out.
Peace.